Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Amy Burkett. Ask your friends, what is Charlotte's busiest road? Or its ugliest road? Or the one road they wish they didn't have to drive on? Chances are the answer's the same for all three: Independence Boulevard. That's not exactly what city leaders had in mind back in the late 40s and early 50s when they were planning and building Charlotte's first great so-called crosstown boulevard. Now, Independence carries 70,000 cars a day. By 2030, it'll be 90,000. But in tonight's Remember When segment, we look back at when cruising the boulevard was cool. Carolina Impact's Jeff Saunders joins us behind the wheel on Independence with more.
Well, Amy, if you're going to drive down memory lane here on Independence Boulevard, you need the right kind of car. You know, like this 1966 red Mustang convertible. Oh, yeah.
Mustang Sally.
And our first stop is the kind of place where this car will look and feel right at home.
You better slow your Mustang down. Oh, Lord.
At South 21 Drive-In, these fresh burgers you order are hot. And these old speakers that take your order?
Cheeseburger all the way with bacon.
What else, sir?
Not so hot.
I'm sorry, sir. Did you say for here or to go?
To go.
For here?
To go.
But that's how they've done it here on Independence since 1955. South 21's famous French fries and onion rings, either boxed up to take with you, or even better, served up on a tray right outside your car window.
We have 3 generations coming here still. Been a drive-in. That was the thing back in the days when it opened up, drive-ins.
Owner George Husiagas explains things are different these days. Independence Boulevard's original drive-in is now more like a drive-on-by.
This boulevard is scaring people away anymore. It's making it hard for people to get here. It's just too fast.
Yep, hard to believe that this road nobody really wants to drive on today was once Charlotte's highway to tomorrow, when the Coliseum was just a billboard and a construction site, when people actually used to walk on Independence Boulevard.
Yeah, 2 lanes, yes. You could walk across Eastway. I would walk across Eastway Drive to go and visit a friend that lived on the other side.
Right across Independence Boulevard, 2-lane road with lots of houses on each side.
When I lived on Independence, we used to ride our bikes to Discovery Place.
Longtime neighbors also remember when the boulevard was home to some of Charlotte's best-known businesses, like the old Krispy Kreme donut shop at what used to be Independence and Hawthorne.
You could not stop without visiting Krispy Kreme, especially with the hot donuts now sign out. So you had to go down to Independence, turn on Hawthorne, make an illegal U, which was so worth getting a ticket for, to get in the door while the hot ones were there.
People there all hours of day or night there. It had a small parking lot, and sometimes people struggled just to find a place to park long enough to get in and get their donuts.
And then there was that kinky lingerie shop with the half-naked mannequins on display at the old corner of Independence and Pecan.
Thompson's Bootery and Bloomery. It went away right after I had gotten here, so I had of course seen the mannequins in the full-size window.
Supposedly at one time he had live models in the windows modeling the lingerie.
We would come up beside it, and I would have my children turn their heads and look the other way because the clothing in the window was just amazing, and what little there was.
Other fond Independence Boulevard memories include the shopping at Charlotte's first mall and Big Mac's at Charlotte's first McDonald's, both now long gone, and the football Friday nights at Memorial Stadium, now mostly empty. But longtime neighbors also remember the choppy pavement and these narrow lanes, which brought speeding cars in Independence Boulevard dangerously close together. And when the boulevard widened into a more modern freeway, well, that caused other problems, turning once successful East Side shopping centers, like this one, into boarded-up eyesores, and pushing divided Charlotte neighborhoods farther and farther apart.
Independence Boulevard brutalized the city. It brutalized the city. It still brutalizes the city. But it was a product of its time.
Charlotte historian Dan Morrill writes that the building of Independence Boulevard seemed like a good idea back in the late 40s and early 50s to the politicians and to the public.
Automobiles, the selling of automobiles, the multiplication of automobiles became the symbol of the age.
Perhaps you dream about a low, sleek car like the Biscayne.
The idea was that if Charlotte was going to be part of this wonderful new automobile age, it had to have this crosstown boulevard. Nothing was going to stop it. It was a boulder in a teacup. Chantilly's never recovered. Chantilly is still split in half. The old campus of Thompson Orphanage got cut in half. I mean, it was a bulldozer.
But what about all those fond memories we heard about of Independence Boulevard from the 50s and 60s? The late night trips to Krispy Kreme. What about the mannequins?
Yeah, there was something exciting about it. The problem is it can't sustain itself because if you want to move automobiles, that is going to destroy any romance. There is absolutely no romance today.
Yeah, unless, of course, you're back at South 21 looking for a slice of cheese on that burger, or a slice of their famous strawberry pie, or maybe just a slice of life, the way it used to be here on Independence Boulevard. Amy?
Thanks so much, Jeff. You know, I want to take a cruise in that 66 Mustang. Well, right now, the North Carolina Department of Transportation is widening Independence, adding interchanges and bus lanes, and getting rid of traffic lights, trying to keep traffic moving. The project should be completed in October. Total cost, over $100 million. Now compare that to the original cost of just $200,000. Well, our next story takes us to